Okay, so I'm reviewing my series of videos on my Grateful Dead experience. And I have just come to a realization. So this is something I wanted to talk about for a long time. So you got DMT heads, and that's like the modern thing is DMT, okay? And every single interaction I've ever had with the DMT, somebody who does DMT, is that I need to try DMT, and until I try DMT, I don't know anything about anything. That's how profound like DMT is the superior experience to any and everything else. Every person that I've ever engaged in, which is quite a bit, have always had this superiority complex that like DMT is the ultimate, and it doesn't matter what anybody else says. DMT is the superior ultimate experience of them all. It trumps them all. Every single one of these guys has always said this, always. And then I end up engaging in debates with them because 9 times out of 10, they're a millennial or a Zoomer who is still in their like early 30s, late 20s, or mid 20s or early 20s. And this phenomena is very common. Like people that are experimenting with hallucinogens, especially around their younger ages, they always have that complex. I had it when I was doing LSD. It was the exact same thing. Oh, this trumps it all. You know, I would be mocking people that smoked weed because I'd be like, "You're smoking weed? Like, don't you know?" You know, like it's always the same complex. And so these younger people haven't gone through this and outgrown it and had more experiences that they can compare and realize like that these are just phases and stages, okay? And so so when I'm engaging in debate with them, I'm talking about, you know, like LSD, and as I said before, I'll mock them and make like pretty much true statements. Like the one I like to say is, I've done more hallucinogenics in one 24-hour period than you have in your life, dude. And you're trying to act like you're schooling me, dude. And it's like the truth. And if you don't believe me, refer to my video that I'm uploading about my first LSD experience. Like, dude, these young people that are experimenting with DMT got nothing on me, bro. But every single one of them is fucking convinced that they do. Like, they are just way more knowledgeable. And like I said, this is a typical this is the typical thing that younger people experimenting with hallucinogenics go through. And I know because that's what I thought when I was young doing LSD is that, oh, I know way more than everybody else. Like I am so fucking above. And it's just stupid. And so yeah, I'll tell them, I'll be like, dude, I've done more hallucinogenics in one 24-hour period than you have in your entire life. And you're trying to school me on DMT. Okay, so now let me flesh this argument out. Because these people, they're just, this is a very interesting argument for me. And I'm going to reference the Grateful Dead. So I saw like 12 or 13 shows, Grateful Dead shows, before Jerry Garcia died. Okay, this is a difference that between DMT and like the LSD experience. This is a vast, like black and white, night and day difference. And And people that are understand the Grateful Dead and have truly experienced the Grateful Dead will know exactly what I'm talking about and know that I am not bullshitting. This is real. Okay. So let's look at first. Let's look at the DMT experience. Okay. When a person does DMT, it lasts like 10-15 minutes, and they are completely incapacitated for the majority of that time. Like they are just out. They're just completely checked out of all reality. Like they couldn't drive a car. They couldn't even walk down the street. They actually have to be held. They are so incapacitated that they actually have to be held so that they don't fall and break their neck or something. This is how completely checked out of reality they are. Okay. That's your DMT, typical DMT experience. Okay. Okay. And then like look at the ayahuasca experience. Like I just watched a clip of a small group of people on ayahuasca, and it was really pathetic to watch. Like they're all moaning in agony. They're all moaning in agony, and the looks on their faces are like they're experiencing agony, and they're out in some dirty fucking like wherever that's at in the Philippines. It's just like gross like dirt and mud and surrounded by Filipinos or whatever, and that are and they're all just like moaning in agony, and they can't even hardly move, and they're leaning over trying to vomit and stuff. Okay. So this is your DMT ayahuasca experience, okay? This is what we're talking about. Now, contrast that with a Grateful Dead show, for example. A Grateful Dead show, there's like thousands, hundreds of people, and even thousands of people. And first of all, they're not completely incapacitated to where they can't walk it's not like that. And it's not only a 10-minute or 15-minute experience where they're physically completely incapacitated, where they can't even get up and walk around. Okay. They're not all laying down on the ground moaning in agony and dry heaving. That's not in sticks, in mud, in some dirty island in the Philippines. It's not like that at all. Okay. And at a Grateful Dead show, on top of that, real things are happening. And if you don't believe it, do some research. It is common. It is like a given when you're at a Grateful Dead show, real things happen. Like the clouds will fucking like just part, and like real live things are happening, not where you're completely incapacitated and it's all just happening in your mind. Real magic is happening. The sky will be like full of clouds, and the fucking Grateful Dead will start playing Here Comes the Sun, and while they're playing, the fucking sky will part, the clouds will part, and the sun will start beaming through. And these are common like this shit is happening all throughout a Grateful Dead show. It is scary, the reality that is going on. It is scary because you're not incapacitated having a hallucination in your mind. These are not hallucinations. Like a person will say that they were on acid and they saw the sky part and the sun come out in the middle of Here Comes the Sun, the Grateful Dead playing Here Comes, and people will think, oh, you were just hallucinating. And it wasn't a hallucination. Like these, that's what I'm saying. You are witnessing like a crossover of reality and a hallucination. Where when you're on DMT, you're so incapacitated, you don't even know what's going on at all in reality. You are totally submersed in nothing but hallucination. Now, not to say that that doesn't have equally can have an equally profound impact and an equally meaningful experience as like literally seeing the sky part in real life while the Grateful Dead start playing Here Comes the Sun. So in a sense, it's comparing apples and oranges. This is why it is a joke to listen to these DMT heads proclaiming that DMT is the superior experience. They've never even done LSD. They've never even been to a Grateful Dead show like when Jerry Garcia was alive. Dude, real magic is a common occurrence at a Grateful Dead show. I have seen this shit. I've been to 12 shows. Dude, you literally cannot even discern hallucination from reality. Not because of the quality of the acid, but because there's so much real magic happening in real life that it's like the all the people that are on LSD are affecting reality. It is having a direct effect on reality where the lines are getting blurred as to what is real, because reality, the veil of reality starts to be lift and you're seeing the sky part and like really crazy profound shit in real life. So there is a major difference between that and being completely physically checked out, where you're totally incapacitated and you have no connection at all whatsoever to reality because you're completely submersed in the DMT universe. This is where it's a merge of that universe with actual reality, dude. And so like these people on DMT, they don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, and they wouldn't believe me. They'd say, "Oh, I'm lying," or "I'm delusional," and this and that. And that's what I mean. It's like, so I can't really relate with these guys because they're in the earlier stages that I've already went through. That early stage where it's like, oh, this is the superior experience to any and everything else. And then everyone needs, it should be mandatory that people get experience it. Like, it's delusion, and it's understandable, but see, it goes beyond that. Now, this is what's even crazier. So I've experienced all of this kind of stuff, but then I've also experienced the other side, which is total abstinence from all intoxicants for almost 23 years. So I've experienced a lot of the hallucinogens and all these other intoxicants often throughout my life, up until I was 27 when I abstained. And from 27 until I'm 50 now, that's almost 23 years of being completely abstinent from everything. And I'm telling you, which most people won't believe me, is you have a more direct connection to everything being abstinent than you do trying to connect to any and everything using any substance. You have a more profound and direct connection to everything, including the DMT naturally produced within yourself, and the DMT naturally produced in everyone else, and the DMT naturally produced in everything else. Like, you have a direct telepathic type connection to everything: trees, people, rocks, all kinds of inanimate objects and living creatures, basically everything. You have a much more clear, direct line to everything, including the naturally produced DMT that's in everything and everyone, including yourself. And what more, how much you cannot beat that experience. That is water to wine. That is the water to wine analogy. Water is the wine. Wine is the dumbed down version. Water, you know, like the direct, clear, direct line to naturally produce DMT within the mind, within others' minds, and the naturally produced telepathic connection that it produces by abstaining from intoxicants, all these intoxicants. And I have engaged in this with these DMT people too, and they just cannot even fathom the possibility that that's even possible. And I've experienced it all. I've experienced the majority of all these hallucinogenics and every other intoxicant you could possibly list. And I've experienced 23 years of full abstinence from all of it. So I have something to contrast and compare. 23 years of experience to contrast and compare with like 27 years of you know, well, technically not 27. I didn't start experimenting until I was 15. So 15 to 27, that's what, you know, about 15 years. 15 years experience with overindulgence in hallucinogens and any and everything else you can possibly think of. And then 22, almost 23 years experience abstinence from all intoxicants and these intoxicating substances. So I have experience to go off of and to, you know, whereas someone who doesn't have this experience and they think that DMT is like the superior, safe and effective super drug that is the answer to everything and shit, like they don't understand. And you know, but and you know, so I try to engage with these guys, but it's like talking to you know, no offense to flat earthers, I'm not a heliocentrist, but I'm also not a flat earther. But it's like talking to a flat earther, you know, like they're just going to insist that they're right. And if you're not agreeing with them, then you're wrong. And it's the same with these DMT guys. Like you can't, they're right no matter what. Like they lack self-awareness and critical thinking because they're all caught up in the woo-woo, you know, honeymoon phase of, oh, DMT is just this it's you know, it's like you know, they just crazy with it. They can't think outside of that box. They can't transcend that at all. So they'll never be able to fathom that actual abstinence from all these things is a more clear and direct and profound experience than the actual DMT experience itself. They just can't even fathom the possibility that that's even possible. And so that's it, you know.